Hello, everybody, and in this video, I'm going to be talking you through the story of my purpose project. And I believe my story will be very beneficial for you, so make sure to watch it all the way through. And let's get started. First, I'd like to establish the fact that I'm taking a class called Life Design, and for those of you who aren't attending it, the main objective is to create one project over the course of a few months and share your journey. So, what did I decide to do? Well, if you somehow haven't already noticed, there are two people playing a board game on the screen right now, and that's actually what I made. So, I'm going to talk you guys through why I decided to make a board game in the first place, my struggles, and my learning by the end of it. And if you stick around long enough, I'll explain how it's played. Now, if you don't already know me, hi, my name is Charlie, and if I had to tell you one thing about myself, it'd be that I love the Pokemon franchise. And if you had to ask what my favorite part was, I would have to tell you that it's the Pokemon trading card game, or TCG for short. Every Friday, I go out with my dad to a card store called Highlander Games and play Pokemon with the community. My father's actually very good friends with the owner of the store and is actually the person who runs the events there. And because of this, we end up being very good friends with most of the community. And every month or so, we the community go participate in Pokemon championships with thousands of people around the world in places like London, Canada, and Japan. And next week, I'm actually going to be flying out to Milwaukee by myself to compete in one, which is pretty exciting. So, my overall love for the Pokemon TCG and other games like it stem from my fascination with like strategy games as a whole, which has led me to try and make my own games. But time after time, I've come short of doing so, and I've always been leaving projects behind to collect dust. So this class seemed like my opportunity to force myself to finally finish a game of my own. And with this decision made, I began playtesting a variety of games provided by our wonderful teachers, Mr. Daly and Mr. Madden, to come up with ideas for my project. And I decided that it would be easiest to make a board game because I already had experience making my own cards because of Pokemon, and I like how I could make the pieces of board games interact with the cards. Now, in the first 2 months or so of my project, I really just used the theme of it as an excuse to take a break and play games in class, or more commonly, work on the homework for my other classes, like my AP, that were burning a hole in my calendar. This led me to walking into the week before the first showing of our project with nothing, and I came to realize that if I really wanted to complete my project, I'd have to brute force my way through all the work I had to get done. Now, this first phase of my project really burnt me out, and even though I did have a prototype game to show, it was nowhere near being complete. And because I had pushed myself so much to have something done before the first deadline, I found it hard to work on anything because of the burnout. And even when I did manage to make time outside of class to work on the game, I would just end up falling asleep out of exhaustion. I realized that if I wanted to get anything done, I was going to need help. So I decided to share my ideas with my friends at Highlander, and their feedback and enthusiasm about my game helped me relight the passion for my project, and it helped me follow through in the closing months of the class. And in the end, I was really happy with the way my game turned out, and I was actually able to laminate the entire deck of cards to make them feel real, and I ended up 3D printing my own pieces and then painting them. Now, on a base level, I can say that this project taught me that I prioritize my schoolwork over the things that I actually want to do, which caused massive burnout and led to the pile of failed projects that I had left behind beforehand. I could say that the most important thing I had gained from this project was finally completing my goal of finishing a game, but that would be wrong. Looking back at my project on a deeper level, the most important thing was that I found a new way to work through the burnout that school was causing. And that was actually by sharing my interests with the world, which not only heightens my ability to be productive, but it also creates fun memories for me to look back on. And the main takeaway I want you to get out of this is that you should be open to putting yourself out there because you might just learn a thing or two and get into new hobbies. This project has already aided me into getting into new hobbies like drawing and playing the bass. And who knows, maybe it will help you start something new as well. Now, for those of you who stuck around, the main premise of my game is that you are racing against your friends to collect the rare resources inside of a meteor. The person with the highest value of resources by the end of the game will win. Now, to be able to gather these resources from this meteor, you have to kit out your ship with upgrades and tools which rank up the mining tier of your ship. Those cards are the ones that are laid out in a row in front of us. The other type of card is the event card, which is mostly used to screw over your opponents and give you an advantage. For example, blowing up their ship. Now, you do have to be careful while mining, because there are certain resources that'll trigger disasters, like wormholes, blackouts, and even space pirates, that are going to disrupt everyone. With that being said, I'm at the end of my story, and I'm going to leave you with some extra footage of us playing the game. Goodbye, and good luck with your next adventures.